I was able to watch Fast X finally, so here is my review on the movie. Let's start off with everything I liked about the movie. And for starters, I find this movie extremely overhated. This movie does not deserve all the hate that it gets. I do not even understand why these newer movies, besides F9 for the Fast and Furious franchise, are getting all this hate. Only F9. That's the only one where I agree. Everything else, 5 through 8, and now counting 10, too much people hate it. Fast X, I think, is like probably one of the best in the entire franchise. And the reason why I think that, Jason Momoa as the villain, he's like one of those villains that you hate because of how like dramatic they are, kind of like the Joker, but you like love him as a villain. That's what Jason Momoa's character is. And then he also has these comedic bits that you feel like you shouldn't be laughing at because they're like kind of dark. But you are laughing at it because it's just funny. And he finds it a way to make that part funny as well. And then you have his origin in here, which is connecting back to the 5th film. And it really works with the story. I feel like it's like building this ending to this franchise. And I feel like it really works. And then John Cena's character, way better character than he was in the 9th movie. Like, wow. Like, he has that uncle kind of feel to him. That he has like that one uncle in your family who's like always like kind of like the bad influence in a way. That's what John Cena is in this movie. And it really works with his character. And really makes you care about that character even more. Like, I mean, like, from Fast and Furious 9, you did not care about him at all as a character. This movie, on the other hand, you really like his character in here. And I feel like the movie did that on purpose. Okay, from this point on, slight spoilers if you don't really know how the movie ends. Which, I'm not going to talk about, like, what it is, but I'm going to talk about, like, what it is at the same time. I'm just not going to talk about the plot points behind it. So if you don't know how this movie ends, don't continue watching. But the cliffhanger in here makes me really excited for the next movie. Like, that cliffhanger happened, and it came out of nowhere. Like, it just, like, popped up, and I'm like, wow. That came out of nowhere. Like, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, that cliffhanger, I knew was in there. Same thing with this movie, but I knew that was in there. And I was trying to guess where it was at throughout the movie. Well, near the end of the movie. But it still makes that a good movie. But for Fast X, I didn't even know it was coming. Came out of absolutely nowhere. And just spawned in like a creeper in Minecraft. I don't know why I made that reference, but came out of nowhere. Popped right on in. And I was completely shocked. Like, I was not expecting the movie to end right there. And a lot of people are saying this movie is long. Because all it is build up because of that cliffhanger. Well, guess what? I do not agree. At all. This movie does not feel like 2 hours and 20 minutes. Maybe it can be a little long, but no. How do you see this movie to be long? I mean, like, if you think of it as the original movie, if you think of this movie as the original movie, then obviously. But I've seen people give this movie bad reviews, and they like action movies. And I don't understand that. You like action movies, but you're giving this movie a bad review. How? How are you giving this movie a bad review? All it is what your favorite type of action movies are. Yeah, people are saying this movie is slow, but then I don't really see that because you have those comedic beats that all the Fast and Furious movies have to make it funny. I don't understand the hate for this. Maybe some of you can leave it down in the comment section below. I don't know why people hate this movie. And I feel like this is the start for this epic trilogy that's gonna end the franchise. Now, yes, will it end the franchise? Because it's called Furious 7, was supposed to end the franchise, but it didn't. They kept going. And some people may say they ran out of ideas then. But I feel like that's when, like, everything was getting, like, more intense. But, getting ahead of myself, Furious 7, people say was supposed to be the ending. I do kind of agree with that. But what we are getting now with Fast X, I feel like works really well. And I feel like, I guess Ryan's not in here. But R.I.P. I feel like what they're setting up here is going to have this really satisfying payoff in the end. And I cannot wait for the next 2 parts to come out. Letterboxd now has Fast X Part 2 and Fast X Part 3 listed. So, I do have to say this movie's not perfect. 10 out of 10. So, I do have to go on to what I didn't like about Fast X. And for starters, the movie can go slow at some parts. You can start feeling the pacing just a tiny bit. It kind of throws off, but then it kicks right back into it. But my main problem in here is there's way too many storylines going on. It kind of reminds me of Infinity War, where you're watching this bunch of characters, watch another group of characters, and then go back to these characters you last saw like almost an hour ago. And you are completely forgetting about that storyline. Like, for example, John Cena's storyline in here. I watched it, I remembered it, then we cut to the next storyline, then we go to the next storyline, and then there's another storyline in here, and we jump back to John Cena, and I completely forgot about it until he popped up again. I wasn't constantly thinking of it. Like, every time we pop back up to John Cena, I was like, okay, what last happened in the film? Oh yeah, that last happened. Okay, let's watch it. That's what I thought every time that happened. And it just felt like some storylines stood out from others. And we could have maybe shortened some other storylines just to make the movie a little bit shorter. Because I feel like John Cena did not need that much screen time. Even though he is fun to watch, the storyline was a little bit long. But all in all, Fast X is extremely overhated. So many people are hating on this movie, and I do not understand why. I don't. Maybe someone can clarify why, because they're saying Fast and Furious is running out of ideas. I don't see that at all. Like, this movie wasn't slow for me at all. It was really enjoyable, and I really liked it. I mean, like, yes, there is no way cars survive that, but John Wick is like that. I think Mission Impossible is like that as well. Characters are surviving stuff that they shouldn't be surviving. You don't complain about that. But you complain about this? I don't feel like that makes sense for me. Well, also at the same time, I guess at the beginning of the franchise, the cars were weak and then got stronger, but same argument. But yeah, I did really enjoy Fast X. And I do recommend it. And out of 10, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Follow my letterboxd called The Conan Man Movie. Comment down below your thoughts and the exclamations. And see you guys all next time. Goodbye.